So, and then she started telling me, like, on her Facebook, he ends up deleting like all the guys off her page, even if they were cousins, even if they were male friends or whatever, like from high school, whatever. He would go through her page and just delete all the dudes. But then on his page, he would befriend all the female friends on her page, on his page. So mind you, he was following everybody, my best friend, her whole family. He was following me. He was following like some of her old friends that she had in college, and it was just some weird stuff that he would do. And I was like, but why he's so concerned about who I'm talking to? Like, that's, she's like, oh, he's like that. Like, he's like my friends, like he always wants to know like what they're doing and who they're talking to and stuff. I was like, but that's not none of his business. You're his girl. I have nothing to do with him. She's like, yeah, I know, like trying to like make it seem like it's normal, but that shit is not normal. So one night, we out on the porch smoking. We smoking, and I think we had alcohol or something like that. And then she was like, I gotta talk to you. And I'm like, okay. We've been talking all this time I've been here. Like, what's up? She goes, I need to tell you something. I'm like, okay, tell me so. Just tell me. Like, now you're making it weird. Both of us are high. So now I'm starting to get paranoid. Like, what is going on? So she was like, I have to tell you about the whole reason why I never called back, my best friend. I said, what are you talking about, the real reason? She's like, I have to, because she used to tell Nixon everything. That's why people did not like talking to her, because she would end up telling Nixon everything. So you couldn't really have a girl's girl talk with her, because then you would hear Nixon commenting or his opinion on it. And it was like, why would you tell Nixon and you already know he weird like that? She was like, well, she was talking to Nixon, and Nixon's like, it's time that you tell her, because my best friend was coming up to drop off my daughter so she can like spend the week with us or whatever. So that way we can, she hasn't seen her brother. And then, that's why around this time too, my best friend ended up, sleeping with one of her old whatever, because that's how she was able to, he drove her to my best friend's house like a week later or something like that. And that's why Jolene ended up telling me like what I'm about to say, because she was coming up and she was like, she just wanted to be honest because she knows it's gonna be weird between them. And I'm like, what do you mean it's gonna be weird between y'all? Because I kept pressing the whole fact like, y'all need to get back friends so we can all hang out together like we used to, do things with the family and all that other stuff. Because Jolene was even thinking about like moving back to Tampa, because I was like, I don't see myself staying in Lehigh, Fort Myers, because it's just too like Tampa was already country to me. Now Fort Myers was like hella country. So she was like, the whole thing with my best friend and the threesome really did happen. Here's what I said. I said, lies you tell. Lies you tell. She said, no, it really did happen. And that's one thing about me. Like, I don't care what your sexual preference is. I don't really. Whatever you do in your bedroom is your business. But one thing, because like I said, I don't even do threesomes because I'm real selfish like that. I don't want to see my man pleasing nobody else but me. I'm sorry. That's just how I think. Like, no. Like, I've had many of men ask me, like, if I wanted to do a I said, yeah, you could do a threesome. It's just not going to be with me. We could break up for a couple of months. You go do what you got to do. Have all the threesomes you want, and then we could get back together. But it's not going to be with me. I hold that so dear to my heart. If I'm really fucked up about you, seeing somebody else, no, no. But when I would say that to, like, cause my best friend would, ask me would I ever do it, and she was like she would, or whatever. But I used to, and Jolene was saying the same thing, cause Jolene was she's bisexual, so she like girls and guys. So she was saying, and I used to tell her, like, if you're gonna do something like that, do it with somebody you don't know. Because that's gonna put a rift. And then it puts some, to me, if you do it with like a friend or something like that, that means whoever you with always was attracted to that person. Now they have an excuse to mess with that person, because now you done invited this person into your bedroom. So if he ends up sleeping with her or him behind your back, you invited that. You allowed that to happen, because that was the whole purpose. So I used to say this constantly. I say that to anybody when we get on subjects like this. Don't do it with somebody you know. Don't ever do it with somebody you know. Because that's going to... And when she told me, I said, Jolene, what was the rule that I said? Well, I said, don't ever do it with somebody you know. Because, man, when I tell you, I watch a lot of... I watch Snap a lot. And I used to watch, like, a lot of, the ID channel. Like, all that stuff on there. And if you notice, a lot of women, even though there would be the side chick or whatever, it always turns out bad. It always turns out bad. So she goes to tell me how everything starts. That's why I said my best friend always had that in her. Always had that in her.